Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to God-Given Health. Today, I want to briefly discuss with you our mental health and how we need to be aware of and take care of our mental health just as much as we do our physical health. And so there are a lot of mental health issues, illnesses, disorders, and a lot of it can be avoided or lessened if we take care of our health. And that's why I want to share with you today briefly some tips on how to take care of your mental health. And so one of them, or the first one, is to be positive, not negative. Focus on good things and not just bad things, which can come from watching too much news, negative programming, too many crime shows. I love watching mysteries and crime shows, but I have to be careful of watching that because it can make me tend to be negative or watching over my shoulder and being paranoid. And so focusing on the negative is not good. So we want to focus on the positive. Also, we want to avoid negative people. You hang around negative people or people who cause a lot of stress or trouble or drama, that can work hard on the mind. It can be hard on the brain. And so we want to be careful who we hang around, who we keep company with. We don't want to be around people that stress us out because it can ruin our health. It could take a toll on our health, on our minds. So we want to be cognitive of that. At the same time, we want to be sure to think the best of others and not the worst, because that will help. That kind of connects with the being positive. We want to think the best of others, because thinking the worst overworks the brain. And we don't want to do that. We want to give our mind a break. We also want to forgive, because being angry, it poisons the mind. It's toxic. And it stops us from being able to think clearly. And so being angry is not good. Being angry is highly overrated. Especially in America, it's highly overrated. So it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And so we also want to trust God. We want to trust God and we let Him help us. So I encourage you to trust God and let Him help you. We let Him help us when we trust Him. Trust Him, believe in His word and what He has to say to us. And that's very good, because we don't want to go crazy. Like, remember King Saul in the Bible and how he kind of went insane a little bit? That's because he didn't trust God. And so we want to let God help us, because this world is overwhelming. It can be very overwhelming. And we see this by how many people commit suicide and how many people lose their minds and go out shooting and being violent and just doing a lot of criminal behavior. So we want to trust God and let Him help us. And that will help us to be able to rest. Because God never expected us. He never told us that we had to figure everything out and to just be able to handle everything that's going on in this world. He never. He loves us. And He wants to help us. He never intended for us to be down here on this earth on our own, by ourselves, not receiving help from Him and guidance. So let God help you. And so also don't overthink. Rest your mind. One way I now overthink and rest my mind is by meditating, where I've shared before. I used to go out on my porch balcony, and I have a nice recliner chair out there, a little lawn chair, and I just lay there for about 20 minutes. And I relax my mind. I relax my whole body and my mind. And so that stops us from overthinking, because our mind some people are just thinkers, and I'm a thinker. And so our mind is just going. And so meditating, it just helps you to Stop your mind. We can't turn our brains off, but we can focus it on something where it's not just running around. Kind of reminds me like a gerbil in a little cage in that little wheel. Kind of reminds me of that. We don't want to be like that. We want to give our mind a break. And so we need to rest our mind, rest our brains. Our mental health is our brain. It's our brain. And we want to take care of our brain. Our brains are very complex. God created it in a magnificent way. Even today, scientists still are having a hard time figuring it out. And so lastly, another thing we want to do is eat fish food, which some people dub brain food. So we want to eat fish food. I call it Jesus food because that's what Jesus served to his followers in the Bible. So, and I believe if God did, it must be good. And so eat fish food. The oil in it and everything's supposed to be really good for the brain. Blueberries or berries are supposed to be very good for the brain. And so it's taking vitamins and oil such as like olive oil. So there's some foods that we can do, we can partake of to help. It'll help with our memory function. And there's also some herbal supplements out there that's good for the brain. And so I'll be sharing some of those here on this channel. So this channel is going to be a blessing to you. So please don't forget to subscribe. Click like if this video has been a blessing to you. And please comment. I love when you all comment on the videos. Some of you are kind of shy, but yeah, just click thank you. Just write thank you. That's it. That's all you have to say. Just thanks. Okay, so yeah, let's take care of our mental health. Let's not ignore it or neglect it. I know we don't do it on purpose, but we just need to be aware of it. And so that's why I want to say that our mental health is important. It's just as much as our physical health, if not more. We want to take care of our mental health. And so that's all I want to share with you today. I hope again that this has been a blessing to you. Thank you for listening. Chat with you later. Bye bye.